Yeah, if you ever see Karmea on land too, he's an awesome guy to get to know. You can just tell he's like really passionate, really also just young and ready to take over this scene. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of momentum behind him right now. And I love this team in particular for him because there's a lot of talent to learn from, and then also have the ability to still show why you're that up and coming player. I think this is the roster that is perfect for him. I wouldn't want him on any other place. This is where he can develop the best. Eventually he'll take over the reins and will become, you know, that main slayer for this team. They're really counting on him and Mental to really step up to the plate as this team develops.
Well, game number 1 is about to be on the way. Once we make sure that everybody gets into the lobby properly and everybody's all situated, but it gives us a chance to just talk about the map in general. Like we talked about the Shroud screen specifically, but what other meta should we expect to see here on Streets? Like, is it truly just grab rockets, grab rockets, grab rockets, or is there a little bit more than that, Garrett?
Well, I always feel like rockets are important, right? They can be a swing in this game, but it always comes down to those power weapons. The red rack update, although it might have prevented it from being so powerful in this game, like always having those power weapons, it still is the #1 priority, right? Getting the red gun and the shotgun in particular in your hands, and especially in the hands of your prominent slayer on your team, is priority 1 every single time. Now, having the weapon ammo halved and having that red rack update has really changed this map quite a bit. It feels as if rockets are a little bit more important now, but at the end of the day, if you aren't controlling the power weapons and your opponents are, they're going to win the game. And it's imperative for these teams to ensure that they're always on top of their P's and Q's when it comes to keeping those power weapons timed, keeping them in your hand, and feeding them to your best slayers.
Yeah, it's funny, you know, my homie Magic Moonshot really put us on notice and talked about how sometimes that Stalker Rifle and Bulldog combo with its combination of like long range and close range can be even more effective than the rockets, just how much ammo you have in it. So, you know, it's not just the rockets, it's that Bulldog, it's that Stalker Rifle, it's everything that comes into play. Shoot, I'm one of the best assault rifle players in the game. Don't let me get my hands on it. Don't get me started on the Bandit Rifle as well. Now I think we're ready. I think it's time. I've been looking for a fight between these two. Now it's time to take it to the streets of New Mombasa here for game number 1. It's King of the Hill on Street. That rockets in the middle, the ramen on the side looking so good. Garrett, who do you have taking it?
Hey, don't ever count out this Shopify Rebellion team. This is a team that plays up to their competition in G1. They're almost at the top of that apex, right? The #3 seed coming in, but I think this Rebellion roster can make things a little bit mixy. I have them winning this series in a best of 5, going all the way to game 5.
The 2-man push from RyaNoob and Rayne over toward the B side. Looks like RyaNoob goes down quickly, but somehow Rayne stays up, snatches up those rockets, brings it right back over toward the B side, has to trade out his life with it, but we end up going down for Gamers First, so it sounds like a good trade to be. Falcated, the final player alive from G1, somehow keeping RyaNoob out of that base and just being a nuisance. That's time that's not on the board here, mainly because Falcated is being a ratty type of player.
Yeah, I mean, Falcated trying to get the maximum value of his life, and sometimes, Tony, it's not about the kills that you get, but it's about the deaths that you don't give. Falcated is staying alive for as long as possible. Bought time for G1 to come up and use his body as really a resource to get extra kills on the map, right? Everyone being pulled over towards that red room. Falcated, although he didn't get any kills, really bought the break for his team and prevented Shopify Rebellion from getting some much needed time.
But the same way the Gamers First came right off his spawn and was able to clear Rebellion, now Rebellion answer in the same way, and now they're getting continuation kills. Rayne able to take down one. RyaNoob does end up going down here, but you still have Rebellion controlling that B side of the map. Love that collapse by Mental and Rayne, and now A side being set up. They're even addressing the driveway side pushers over from the C side of the map. Rebellion have a nice setup here. G1, they might have 1 or 2 breaks, maybe one more before they have to punt it.
Yeah, it's been really tough for G1 because you see how Rebellion has put a lot of emphasis on making sure those PD spawns are blocked at all times, and it's forcing G1 to fight in from bottom positions, having to go up these stairs or go up driveway, tough positions to break from. And although they get these rockets, they're not going to get the opening points on board.
Well, I will say, you know, if you're losing one hill, the least you could do is be set up for the next one and get power weapons as well. So that is a net positive here for Gamers First. Hopefully they can translate it into this hill. Bubu Dubu does get the first one. Falcated secures the second. So it looks like the subway side is going to be cleared out. Rebellion now spawning all the way toward the opposite side of the map. And this side of the map is much easier to control than that arcade side. I'm sure you would agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely. So much easier to control where these players are going to be coming from, how you're going to take these fights, but it's a tough one. I mean, that's about as sandboxy as you can get it right there, right? Sentinel beam versus assault rifle. RyaNoob comes out on top of the AR. You know what I'm saying? That's a crazy one. And Mental, he was able to pick up that Sentinel beam, and he already put 2 in. That Sentinel beam, I think it's not talked about enough, Tony. It has an SMG classification within the game. It really is a weapon that just shreds up close, but has surprising range to it. And I see oftentimes people just leave it on the rack or they don't go out of their way to get it. It can absolutely be game-changing, especially if you have strong positional play with it.
Sentinel beam, stalker rifle, assault rifle, almost like these players have GA'd the BR. I'm not seeing any BR action here. RyaNoob staying alive with the arcade side. Rayne somehow able to escape almost with his life over to the mid side of the map, and just like that, we down go Rebellion. He puts a couple shots onto the first one, but that's gonna give up his positioning and allow Bubu Dubu to get the easy cleanup here while G1 continue to soak up that hill time.
Now look how aggressive Bubu Dubu and Sab are on this map, playing all the way past that 50 line, trying to get behind the players of Rebellion, and it's going to be highly effective. You see all the kills going in. Hill goes over to G1, now also set up for next and winning rockets at the same time. They wanted everything and they got everything from it, and Sab is continuing the pressure, getting a little 1-for-2 action with those rockets, kill and assist. And Rebellion now split on their spawns, don't have any real way to push, waiting for the respawns, but Sab still has an extra rocket and he knows exactly where these players are coming from.
Garrett, now that is a huge problem. When Rebellion were able to take that first hill, G1 were set up for the second one, and they were able to snatch up these rockets. Now that Gamers First take that second, you think Rebellion would be doing the same thing, but somehow G1 multitasking, already about 90% done with this next hill, about to take a 2-1 lead, and now those rockets are off the map. Rebellion pretty much only having their BRs to play with and to fight for what, just 1, maybe 2 seconds of hill time here? G1 are absolutely out of control right now, and it looks like one quickly going down, make that 2. Half the members of Rebellion are off of the map. G1 should be able to finish out this hill.
Yeah, G1's gonna get this hill. It's how Rebellion set up for the next. You can see RyaNoob trying to push his way. I love this from G1. They're not quick to get into this hill, right, Tony? Because to them, this is essentially a hill they're going to get guaranteed. They're more concerned about the follow-up to this hill, making sure Rebellion don't get too much advantage. So they ensured that they had the spawns that they wanted, pushed Rebellion back, and then once they were sure that they had the map control that they needed, then they finish off their hill. Love the heads up play from G1, and this is why you're starting to see this game quickly get out of hand.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because I feel like the first time I saw that strategy being used, it was by E United back at the NA Super, and so I just assumed that they made that strategy, but Eli the Sensei told me, he said, no, hold on, they got that strat from G1 actually. He said G1 were the first ones to implement it in scrims, and E United stole that from them. So funny to come right back here for G1. Eli not currently coaching the roster, but still working as an analyst, and looks like they're still putting these strategies to work. RyaNoob gets away with those rockets, gets himself the first kill onto Bubu Dubu. You still have 2 in the hill, and Sab is gonna try to make it across, but looks like he's gonna be spotted. So both him and one Svspector should go down here, and Rebellion have a nice little setup over toward the cafe side. They're gonna answer right back. We're tied up at 2-2 going towards this bottom mid hill.
That was a great response for Rebellion, especially because G1 had won that initial setup, right? And it's all about finding the break. Rebellion not only found the break, but then broke it and never gave it up from there. Now expect to see all these fights tail over to where Falcated is setting up over at the back of C. That's going to be your power position on this map, ensuring that you always have an angle into this hill. And Rebellion, they're not quite decisive on how they want to find this break. They've been constantly moving around the perimeter, but eventually you're going to have to strike at the power positions of this map, and G1 are just waiting for that.
This game going much faster than a normal street smash. Normally when that hill goes towards the bottom mid, it's like maybe what, 2.5 minutes on the clock at most. Most of the time, even like a minute 40. This hill moved over here and it was over 3 minutes of time, and so far almost a minute off the clock, and we barely see any progression from either one of these teams. Sab does end up getting into a bit of fisticuffs with RyaNoob, gonna leave him out for his teammates to come in for the finish. Bubu Dubu earns himself a double kill because of that, and now's the time for Gamers First to move in and add to their already lead on this bottom mid hill.
Man's trying to run his way towards that back C, and Sab's going to be the interesting player here, right? If he can stay alive and try to get behind these players of Rebellion, he would have had a great opportunity, but instead it's a big risk, and it comes with a massive downfall. You're going to see a complete control of Rebellion. Karmea has the A side, RyaNoob has the C side, and Rockets are in the middle. You have the perfect sandwich to deal with everything as Rayne gets loose with these rockets, but it's a couple rockets that don't find any damage on players, and suddenly G1, although they are in a tough position, are just dissecting Rebellion.
My perfect sandwich would probably be like a ham, roast beef, and turkey. You know, a little bit of mayo, lettuce, tomato, onions, a little bit of oil and vinegar. But you know, that's a good sandwich. I think you're right. I don't know if I call it the perfect one, but whatever. 2 down for Rebellion. Sav stays alive toward the mid side, able to put some damage onto RyaNoob before going down. Mental once again going mental with that sentinel beam, like you said before. RyaNoob gets himself a huge melee kill as Gamers First end up going 3 down here. Rebellion might be able to steal this hill away. There is nobody in position to stop. Even Sav dives in for one last ditch effort. That hill is won. Rebellion now 1 hill away from taking game number 1. G1 not even set up for this final hill.
And although you only need 1 player in the hill to capture it, it doesn't matter how many players you have. It's all going to go at the same pace. Rebellion saw how close they were from getting that hill and said, we're going to put all our eggs in one basket, right? We just need a little bit more time. As long as we can have each other's trades, all that needs to happen is one of us stays alive. We don't get out of this hill. They get that hill, and now suddenly they're in a great position to either play for this 4th capture or potentially just try to keep Gamers First out of this hill, but they need to start with the slays, and so far G1 have been effective at getting behind Shopify Rebellion, stopping them before they even have access towards this hill.
I love how as you say that, Sav gets yet another crazy flank right behind enemy lines, taking down 2 with them and not taking any damage whatsoever. RyaNoob and Mental gonna try to make their way over towards the mid. Sav gonna slide right in towards this hill. Bubu Dubu with the rockets. Things are looking very good for G1 to tie this up and send it to an elimination. Subway side hill goes right up and personal, but Rayne drops the drop one. That's gonna be the biggest boom block of the year. Jared, what the hell did I just see?
I'm glad you saw that, because I didn't know there was a drop shield. That looked like perfect timing. If it was a drop shield, that was incredible. I thought he just ate it in the face. I thought it was direct impact. But all of a sudden, you're seeing how much of an impact that's going to have, because look at Karmea. He's on the flank. G1 are pushing up through this driveway, but Karmea is going to have an immediate power position to deal with all of this.
It's just so crazy to me. You know that Rayne wanted to bring that drop wall up to the top heaven side and set it up all the way up high so he could look over, and then for him to see the rockets and instantly press that drop wall button, because there's a bit of a delay between drop. It takes a second, and for it to hit perfectly like that, it's still incredible to me. Either way, Rayne and Karmea going in for the purple side. Looks like they're sending 2 up the driveway, 2 around Cafe, and I don't know if Gamers First are ready for it. Karmea sneaks in a few easy shots, but can't quite find the 2 kills he's looking for. Finally, the second one goes down. Bubu Dubu now gonna be caught over towards the red side. Finally, Karmea goes down, and so does Benzel. Wasn't able to do enough damage, but RyaNoob and Rayne still in position.
They can see it, Rebellion. They don't have a shred a second in this time on this hill. They're just going to play to keep G1 out, and with 9 seconds left, that looks to be more and more of an effective strategy. Svspector's the only player alive in this 8-player lobby. These next spawns could determine so much. Look how close G1 is, but look how far Rebellion spawn away. They're gonna have to give this one up. It's all gonna come down to the final hill.
And the Rockets as well that are spawning up in bottom mid right now. RyaNoob gonna try to make a play for it. Karmea off the top rope, able to get the kill, but not able to take him down in time for RyaNoob to get away with the Rockets. Gamers first end up going to lead down. Somehow the wipe in favor of Rebellion, so although RyaNoob doesn't get away with the Rockets, Rayne ends up doing so, and now the pressure already on the A side of the map, making it rain. I didn't know it was about to hail here. One goes down. Make that 2. The other 2 trying to scramble onto the subway side, but Rebellion are watching every angle on the map. Gamers first are getting cycled here at the moment.
Yeah, it really is a storm outside, and G1 is just looking for any place of business to find some cover. Unfortunately, the doors are shut, and there is a stalker rifle that's causing mayhem. As you see G1 finally get the break, but nothing's for free. Mental's trying to get his way back into that fight, but bubu dubu was able to recover that stalker rifle, and now for the first time in this hill, G1 has some space to work with, and that's where bubu dubu's the most effective. When you give him free reign to try to get behind players, to try to take the fight where he wants it best, he's so effective at finding kills.
It took Rockets and some incredible plays out of Rebellion to get the lead that they were looking for, but Gamers first, pure aggression is what clears Rebellion out of the subway side, and now they seemingly have caught up in the score line. Love this shroud to block out the angles from bottom mid. We know how important that double push from bottom mid can work out, and now Rebellion are able to fundamentally hold onto the subway side. Rayne off the screen, able to take down Sab. Karmea now has the responsibility to make sure that bubu dubu does not escape for free. Bubu dubu does end up going down. Now we're within the final seconds. Gamers first had nothing to do but to beeline it straight towards the hill. RyaNoob's aware of it. First couple of shots, tries to switch out. Falcated come out of nowhere. Svspector somehow staying alive with 2 one-shots into the bottom C. Mental has to get the kill, gets the double that he was looking for, stays alive here. Bubu dubu with the nades. This is a brawl.
They don't know Shopify Rebellion's here. The Rockets are there, but it's not going to be enough. RyaNoob stayed and wait. He knew they didn't know. He gets the kills, and it's Shopify Rebellion's hill. Oh my God, the heads-up play. And it all comes down to Mental surviving. Mental could have tried to milk that time in hill. Instead, he stayed alive an extra 2 seconds. And because he stayed alive, he influenced the spawns. Karmea, RyaNoob get the back spawns, and they wait. They don't move. They want G1 to think that they spawned out. The second they get in this hill, it's game over. Look at this. It's absolutely brilliant plays from Mental, right? He stays alive. And look, this extra time, this right here is the critical play of the game, because Karmea and RyaNoob, they stay alive in the back. Bubu dubu, he had no idea. And it's an easy back smack and an easy win because the heads up play of RyaNoob and Karmea.
And even that rocket doesn't even kill Karmea right there. And then I wonder what would happen if it was just a 1v1 with Karmea one shot and bubu dubu about half shields over there. Like, RyaNoob is important. I mean, RyaNoob comes in with that back smack out of nowhere. Look at that, the drop wall. Look, you barely see the drop wall start to come in. That is a perfect boom block.
It literally is frame perfect. Look at this. Boom. And Rayne takes no damage. Bubu dubu was probably like, what? Because I thought he just straight up ate that rocket.
I mean, sometimes them rockets they don't be rocketing sometimes, at least for me. I swear, maybe I'm just bad with the rockets. I'm not even gonna make no excuses. Live fire is coming up here for game number 2, and luckily you don't have to worry about rockets. Luckily you don't have to worry about drop balls, but you do have to worry about that sniper rifle and overshield, which absolutely run the map. Game number 2, Gamers first find themselves down 0-1. Can they answer back?
Svspector's pushing right into the green. He wants to make sure this sniper gets away for his team. He'll take on all 3 as long as the important power weapon goes in his team's favor. Mental goes down, Sab getting plenty of damage down, and we're gonna see the overshield position won by G1, but they still have plenty to deal with. Karmea goes down, and now they have literally everything. G1 with an emphatic start, able to win just about everything on the map.
I always talk about not all kills being created equal, and that kill was so big for Sab because now he has both the heat wave and the sniper rifle. On top of that, the tower side control. Somehow mental, while running away from Sab, ends up getting himself a kill, but it's still an 8-3 lead here coming out of G1, and they're trying to set up the green side spawn trap. Karmea caught out in no man's lane. He's gonna be the first one to go down. Rayne, I believe, was able to break through the A side, so the rest of Rebellion are safe for now, but Sab still has that sniper rifle.
Left and right, you can see how far Rebellion are and how they're playing so close together. This is the trademark of any RyaNoob team. You're never really gonna see them expand too much, but sometimes that works against you because Sab's gonna be able to clean up 2 easy picks, and Karmea goes down as well. As soon as you lose numbers and you're playing close and tight, everyone is going to fall. And if you don't get trades on top of that, that's when you can see huge swings in a game.
Ooh, Sab missing the easy sniper, dropping down, getting the hard kill with that heat wave onto the mud side players. Now have staring down the barrel of 2 in a 1v2. Sadly, Sab not having the numbers to work with, but do Rebellion know that bubu dubu was coming in with that sidekick, making it look like the main character. That's gonna be one. The second one falls right as Overshield is coming up. G1 have infiltrated. It looks like Rayne not able to get away with that OV, and Gamers First gonna clean that right up. You already have the lead. Not grabbing onto that Overshield is devastating.
And that was almost frame perfect from G1. How they collapse on that overshield. They let Rebellion have a false sense of security. At the last moment, they come in, they get the kills where it's necessary. And it started with bubu dubu in that play to get to top tower, to have that overview, to get those 3 kills. And now suddenly Rebellion are just struggling to play forward out of their spawns. Everyone on G1 is doing their job, and nothing has gone right for Rebellion since the start of this game.
I did film review with Karmea, and the 2 things we talked about most were securing Overshield and watching multiple angles, so the best team will attack you from multiple angles right at the last second. And we talked about those green side spawns. And as of right now, Gamers First are running, and what are they running? They're running the Overshield. They've tracked Rebellion over toward the green side multiple times. This is exactly what we talked about. These are what the best teams in the world are able to do. But also some of the best players able to make lemons out of lemonade. Rayne with the cluster luck, taking down 2 with 1 grenade.
All right, this game's not over yet by any means, right? If they can get the sniper away, get their tower control, and start playing their game, Rebellion, they can be a potent force to deal with. The problem is that G1 are just constantly finding kills, and right when you think things are going right for Shopify Rebellion, it's kill after kill. Karmea takes one with them, but the sniper is off the map, and that was an important piece of utility if this Rebellion team wanted to get back into this game.
Another Overshield coming up here. Falcated gets a perfect kill on someone. Challenging mental for the second. Almost able to get that double kill, but the rest of his team comes in for the cleanups. RyaNoob did not know that bubu dubu was coming in quick. He's going to be able to shroud out this Overshield. Sadly, Svspector wasn't in position. Svspector goes down, and it looks like Rebellion going to steal away this OS. It's 38-17, but I don't want to say it's over till it's over, especially with the Overshield in play. Wait, what?
They never popped the overshield. That's insane. The kill, it must have happened fast enough, and like nothing. I mean, sometimes nothing goes right. Nothing has gone right for Rebellion. Things just continually spiral out of control, and we're not talking about just a steak dinner. We're talking about a 9-course meal for G1 to finish this game. They have played phenomenally, and Rebellion, although they win a closely and contested game 1, game 2 is anything but. I mean, look at how dominant G1 has been. They've had their way at every moment. They have constantly collapsed. They have constantly found the back of Rebellion, and it just makes the scoreline look worse and worse.
44-22 lead in favor of Gamers First right now. They're just 5 kills away from taking the win here, as we're on board with Sab making his way onto the tower side. It's going to be a big kill by Mental to take down bubu dubu, slowing them down just that much further. Sab wanted to provide backup to bubu dubu. Now Sab being left alone trades out his life, and every trade is going to work in favor of Gamers First. Karmea follows up with some big kills. G1 now the ones being trapped over toward the green side, but that teamwork might be able to break them out.
Well, I guess everything's just relying on them not getting staked right here. They're trying to do their best to trade out their kills, make sure that they don't at least have that extra embarrassment in this game too, because that honestly, this has been just a tough pill to swallow for Rebellion. They haven't really had anything that's been too hot to talk about, you know what I'm saying? And with this overshield, Rayne should be able to get one before this game ends. Rayne, no, the stake is still there. Oh no, Tony, and that's a tough one, but that's the risk of RyaNoob's game plan most of the time when it comes to these slayers, right? They play close. It's almost like hand holding how they play these slayers. We saw it the most on Catalyst in season 1 of HCS, but when things go wrong, they go wrong spectacularly, right? You're gonna see 3-4 down without getting trades because you're so reliant on the entry frag when you're playing so close together, right? It's so important that you have numbers when you play that close. And G1, they were expanded, but they were together, right? And although there was space that was separating them, their reticles were always meeting at the same area, and that is the exact counter that Rebellion just could not handle in game 2.
Well, the game 2 not really as exciting as game number 1, not as close as we would want it to be, but can't take anything away from Gamers First taking that game number 2. I will say that I'm not really too surprised that Rebellion ended up losing this matchup. You know, Karmea just literally said that individually, this is his worst map. And whenever they play against the best teams in the league, they tend to struggle on this map. Luckily, Recharge, I believe, is one of Rebellion's better maps, and they're very good at holding out angles. They're very good at making sure that teams aren't able to set up on them. So if there's any map that's a really good rebound for them, I'm gonna say it's gonna be Recharge. It's gonna be Strongholds, which is gonna be our next game number 3. But Gamers First do have momentum, and we know how much faster, how much smoother that movement gets when Svspector start feeling themselves. I swear, they get like a 10% speed boost whenever they have that momentum riding on their side. So let's see what happens here in game number 3. It's gonna be Recharge.
At G1, they feel like Tyson in the ring, you know what I'm saying? They're looking for that knockout punch almost every single time. Whereas Shopify Rebellion, they're gonna be dancing around a little bit. They're going to be buying their time. They're just trying to get to extra rounds. They're trying to frustrate their opponents. And that's why so often we see this team go to game 5, because they're resilient. And right now, I think we're going to see whether that overwhelming pressure that G1 can provide, that superstar power, that slaying prowess that they have, can push them over and get them to match point, or if that, you know, that little sneakiness, that resilient nature of this Shopify Rebellion team can keep them in this game. They like to punch up to their weight. Rebellion, you can never count them out, but we just saw an absolute spectacular in game 2 from this G1 team. When they are hot, there's no one that can compete with them.
Double kill.
Whenever the series is tied up, there is nothing more important than that swing at game number 3, and that's where we're at here for both of these squads. Rebellion and Gamers First gonna have to empty the tank. I talk about it all the time. 87.269 Q% of the time. The team that wins out that swing game 3 usually ends up winning the series in a best of 5. So really important for either one of these squads. Rebellion able to get the first double cap on the board. And it looks like Rayne, who trades out his life for which were the A side, so that's going to secure the reset. Gamers First lose out on their numbers. Rebellion continue to put numbers on the board where it matters most.
Never expect Rebellion to overplay their position, right? Once they get a 2 cap, they're very much in the system of ensuring that they keep 2. If the trip cap comes, you know, that's great. We'll take the opportunity, but they're never going to force a play. And so far, you're seeing that right now. G1 are just getting in the face of Rebellion, and Rebellion are getting these trades, but you're going to see a flip of position, and G1, they're the exact opposite, right, Tony? They're not going to be too happy with 2. They're kind of constantly look for an opportunity to push for 3. If you give up too many kills right here, you can see G1 quickly get themselves in a trip cap scenario.
Luckily, RyaNoob and Rebellion really focused on Falcated with that shockwave. We was hitting way too many shots, and if they didn't pull off that double push to get the shock rifle out of Falcated's hands, that could have been troublesome, but they focused on them. cleared out the A side. As I say that, Gamers First are gonna rotate over towards C, so it looks like Rebellion gonna play follow the leader. They're gonna do the same thing.
Yeah, C's important when camouflage is coming up. It's the best position you can play to look out onto this. You can see how G1 set up. They have to play into the camouflage, while Rebellion can be a little bit more passive with their play, ensuring that they get away with this. But right when they have the right position, they let Sab get away with this camouflage, and no one was looking. I don't know if they didn't expect Sab to drop down or grab it the way that he has, but they're just trying to find him, and he is not shooting his gun. He is staying incognito, and when he finds his chance, he's going for it. Sab gonna eventually get taken down, but man, he was playing a dangerous game with 2 players right there.
I can tell you exactly what's going on with Sab's mind. I'm gonna use this camouflage at the C. Looks at 2 different players, like, oh snap. Like literally pivots, and then it's like, you know what? I'm gonna test their monitors. I'm gonna test these old guys' vision real quick, and just hopping in front of them without sprinting, giving away any of that bit of camouflage, somehow stays alive for as long as possible. And with that, Rebellion finding himself 3 down, another double cap in favor of Gamers First, despite the excellent start by Rebellion. Gamers First answer back and are thriving since.
Yeah, bubu dubu's in a powerful position. He has that cross, and although he gets this kill, I love how he's not stuck to a position, right? He's at top gold. He has that great idea of just keeping on that cross, helping A, but he sees his teammates spawn behind him. He gets a kill, and he's like, well, maybe I can put some pressure on C. And although I'm not necessarily playing for C, if I see the numbers go in our favor, I have quick access to play for the trip cap. And now double kill comes in. RyaNoob will be the 3rd that goes down. He gets the trade, but Mental's left by his lonesome, and he goes down. And now you can see Sab. Oh, Sab gets stuck. He wanted to so desperately to play for that trip cap and try to pressure, keep that spawn in towards long haul. But hey, plans sometimes fall through. They still have the 2 cap, and keeping bubu dubu alive is priority right here. This shock rifle so impactful to the game.
We talked about keeping that shock rifle out of the hands of G1. When Falcated had it, he took down 2, got the assist on the 3rd. Bubu dubu ends up cleaning up 1 and steals that shock rifle for himself. Gonna do the same for the active camo, but tries to line it up on the camouflage itself, bring it up over towards the A side, and a little bit of a mishap there, barely missing out. And because of that, that camouflage sitting over towards the mid-map. Falcated having to trade out his life with Karmea. RyaNoob gonna dive straight forward. I believe he might be able to get away with it. Actually, no.
Oh,
no. What? Wait, what?
Danny found him. He was in the wall. They don't find Sab, and while Sab, you give him an opportunity, he'll take it a mile. They're lining up for Sab. He gets another perfect kill.
No, he's a phantom. Sab dropping down, taking down Karmea, lining up, trying to get them quickly with the shock rifle. Sab's about to go off. I can feel it right now. We already have the dub cap working in favor of G1. Now they're moving in for the trip. Mental gonna try to stop what he thinks is a 1v1, which ends up quickly turning into a 1v2. Rebellion off a spawn, gonna try to attack A, but somehow G1 are already applying pressure here. RyaNoob goes down after getting the double kill. Rayne gonna try to sneak over towards B, but this is a pivot. Sab is just feeling himself way too much.
You see G1 are always looking for that opportunity to push for 3. Bubu dubu's in the face of Mental, but Mental able to survive, but Sab swinging in like Tarzan, able to get the kill. And although C's transferring hands, A is going to G1, and G1 just continue on their onslaught. I think it's been literally 210 to 0-1 right now, Tony. It's been phenomenal pressure from G1 start to finish in this game.
And yeah, it wasn't too long ago where Rebellion were the one who started off with this 34 to almost 0 lead. It was an incredible start by Rebellion, but since then, Gamers First have absolutely run. Recharge. Karmea with the big melee onto Sab. They have to find the 2nd kill. Looks like they're going to. So with that, Rebellion finally find their butts over toward the B side. Rayne gonna cover him over toward the whirlpool. We finally see some life showing off of Rebellion. The BC setup already working onto A, getting very aggressive here, but not having the shields to work with. Karmea goes down. Rayne gonna follow up. And with that, Gamers First break right through that pressure, and they're going right after B and C at the same time.
I love how they go for both hills. Although it's risky, If they get both of them, it's basically GG. I mean, you don't have any time to waste. Look, they got it to 247 before RyaNoob could even just stop one of the hills, and they're not going to be able to get the second one in time. Always playing for that trip cap is G1. And although we didn't see a lot of that trip cap scoring, we saw a lot of that trip cap pressure, right? Playing forward on the map, keeping Shopify Rebellion contained and able to eat up the score. A phenomenal game from G1 and Sam. I mean, how are you supposed to deal with that? The man stayed invisible and he goes on an absolute tear after this kill.
Well, my thing is, it was I want to say it might have been, no, it wasn't Sab, it was Bubu Dubu, in fact, who had the grapple and failed with that camouflage, wasn't able to bring it up. At that point, Rebellion knew that camouflage over toward the mid map. So if nobody on Rebellion has it, you have to know that Sab is somewhere, like there has to be somebody on G1 around, and it feels like they weren't even looking for them. Maybe they thought the camo was grabbed and he probably went to Whirlpool or something, but nah, he was just chilling, waiting for Rebellion to push over that cross, and the patience pays off. The backsmack, the shock rifle shot doing damage onto two players at the same time. Once we saw that, I was like, okay. Mentally, I was like, we going to game 4. Like, that's it. 2-1 gamers first.
Yeah, we always have to go back to the beginning of that game and dissect where did it go wrong. And in my opinion, it was when Shopify Rebellion first lost their 2-cap hold, right? They transferred their pressure over to C, and C's a great spot to be when camouflage is coming up, but they didn't use that power position, right? They let Sab grab that first camouflage, and from there, although he didn't do a lot with this camo, it's about restricting resources of your opponent. And Sab getting 2 kills with this camouflage is vital enough, right? He was able to get that first kill on Karmea, and he keeps 2 players preoccupied. That's what camouflage, basically keeping 3 players from doing anything on the map as they searched for him. And well, they were able to find kill after kill from here. This is where the game changed, in my opinion. After they lost that camouflage, they just could never get the position back in the game.
I feel like in that situation, Rebellion are coming, like Rebellion know that obviously once they didn't see camouflage or the person in the hill taking it and ultimately leaving, they know that the camouflage player was the one in the hill. I feel like at that point, somebody of that 2, so I think it was Mentor and RyaNoob, needs to start spamming their ping button and find out where that camouflage player is, because when you can accidentally ping camo. So at that point, spam that ping button, check every single side of the square, because you know camouflage is somewhere and you have to kill him. But like I said, Sab was he was just testing their monitors, testing their old eyesight or something. I don't know, but he got away with murder right there.
And I think that's just been the theme of the last couple of games, is G1 just haven't really been punished throughout this game. Not that they're making plays that can be punished, but Shopify Rebellion, it feels as if it's reactive to what G1 wants to do on the map, right? And that's what you have to get out of. You need to be the proactive team on the game. It's that play where Bubu Dubu's over at top glass and he pushes into long haul to try to play his step forward, because he's giving himself options, and he's forcing Shopify Rebellion to react to his play. And depending on how they react, G1 adapts. It's this play, right? He gets the kill on Rayne right here, and he doesn't stop, right? He's gonna say, hey, how do I keep the pressure forward? Actually, it's mental, right? This nade right here, he knows that they're 2 down. He pushes into long haul, and he's going to keep this team corralled for so long out of this position. And although he never pushes in for that trip cap, he's just constantly keeping pressure, constantly keeping the spawns in their control. And G1 just suffocate. It's like an anaconda wrapping around their opponent in that 3rd game. They never let Shopify Rebellion breathe and have any movement within the map, and that's how you get such a dominant result that G1 were able to provide.
Well, it's game number 4 here, and it's a 2-1 lead in favor of gamers first. And now we're gonna find out if defense is able to come out on top. That bend but don't break strategy here for Rebellion. Will it work on capture the flag with that overwhelming offense, which we know gamers first to be, always sending multiple together, always keeping you on your back foot? Will this be enough on Aquarius CTF to end Rebellion's run in the winners bracket here? Svspector playing off of the kills that Gamers First were able to get, gets himself a camouflage because of it. Karmea just try to buy time over to the fridge side. This should be easy back smack or double melee. The second melee puts Svspector down to one shot, but nobody there to clean it up.
Svspector says, okay, I think we're clear. We can move forward. Mental's the last player to worry about. And while Mental goes down, bubu dubu had plans of his own. He's trying to cheat some time in here. Gets that flag out. It's going to be all up to Svspector to be a strong defensive line right here. Shopify Rebellion trying to get through, and although they take heavy damages, they are able to take care of the Heatwave player. The problem is, I don't think it's going to be enough. Sab already trying to get that flag, and Falcated playing forward to escort him home.
Playing it like a relay race. It was bubu dubu that started that flag, drawing the attention of Rebellion, drawing them out of their position, and as they got the kills, they just relay that flag forward. Well played by Gamers First to put the first cap on the board, and nobody of Rebellion is in position to counter. Oh wait, maybe there's one.
RyaNoob he's like, is there no one here? I think he's like a little flabbergasted that there's no one to take on, and he doesn't want his position to be known too early. He wants to find those slays and get his team forward so that this flagpole isn't for naught. But sometimes you can be on the flank and there's nothing to find, right? And he's eventually going to pull out this flag. But I still think he's in a little bit of a disbelief here. He's been up for about 45 seconds and he finally shoots his BR for the first time in about a minute's time.
It took him a while, but he did pull that flag, and kind of the same strategy that Gamers First used on them. You know, use that as a distraction. You know, pull the attention of Gamers First onto that flag, and just be that annoying Pistola-like player in the back of the base, and follows up with kill after kill. Eventually, his team does end up going 3 down, but he's gonna retreat right back to the back base. And no matter what, Gamers First, they know they'll have to eventually get rid of RyaNoob. You can't allow him to just roam the map freely with this Heatwave and Thruster combination.
And RyaNoob just 2-tap with a Heatwave that was horizontal. That's crazy. We see this flag still out, and it's looking to be more and more likely a return for Shopify Rebellion, and a return that could turn into a counter cap. But how long has RyaNoob been alive? I feel like this man has just been living on the opposite side, and although he's not getting a lot of damage, you can see he's had a lot of influence on this map and how G1 have to approach these flags. But it's still a run, and you might have done a lot of work. You might have kept them at away, but if you don't get the return, you don't get the return. G1 looking mightily close to getting this one home. The rest of Shopify Rebellion are following. It's all Karmea at P2. They're not going to be able to stop this flag, Tony. All that work that RyaNoob did, it's for naught. A 2-0 lead, G1.
RyaNoob was able to buy a lot of time. There's no time for Mental to get that flag outside of the base and put it into a baitable position. The problem is there was nobody on Rebellion that was in a position to bait that flag, and eventually the second pull comes in, and now we're seeing another one being pulled, but this time it's going to be by Rebellion. Rebellion having the numbers they're looking for, getting the clean kills that we want to see. They have the numbers. They're trying to work. They're keeping bubu dubu back, but somehow that flag stays on the utility side. Haven't been able to advance it past the 50% portion of the map just yet.
This flag's still out. Bubu dubu, I think he sees a clear return line for his team. With camouflage in, they're not just going to play for this return, they're going to play a step more. Mental stands no chance as the camouflage player drops down. Everything has just constantly gone wrong for Rebellion, and this flag, although they have plenty of numbers there, those shock nades are going to keep them at bay. They're not going to be able to stop this flag until it gets into the utility, and that might just be too late. Still, a Svspector still lighting everyone up with this camouflage.
Why can't they see this young man? Oh, he has that camera. I guess it makes sense. This man's doing damage to everybody, and then by the time it's all done and dusted, he's just gonna run the flag over the carcasses of everybody's body. Snaps in the third flag, and so far Rebellion have dug themselves a deep hole here. Gamers First are trying to end it right here, right now. They're trying to stamp their ticket into Championship Thursday.
It basically is a slaughterhouse on this map right now with how G1 has had their way. Every time there's been a flagpole from Rebellion, it's been met with a counter cap from G1, and Sav looking to do more of the same. He's heading back. He's not trying to get this one too far without getting a couple kills on his way out. Unfortunately, these nades are doing some hefty damages, and Sav eventually goes down, and for the first time, Rebellion look to have an answer. With Falcated being the last alive, he's nowhere close to stopping this flag. and it looks like Shopify Rebellion will finally be on the board.
But G1 still have an opportunity to get the slays that they're looking for, maybe pull off a counter. As I say that, too quickly going down, forcing Bubu Dubu to back down over toward the P side. Excellent shots, and Grenade puts Mental down to one shot. The cleanup kill is going to come in, and just like that, we have multiple members of Gamers First now approaching the P and the car side right as Camouflage is coming up. RyaNoob refusing to go down easily. Bubu Dubu having to give up his height position just to get an angle on him. 3 down, go Rebellion. Gamers First not only pushed up over towards their base, but also manning the top mid side, which is exactly where active Camouflage has come. Just like that, the flag being moved, and just like that, Rebellion once again finding themselves in trouble.
Wow. Bubu Dubu went incognito, and he's not even gonna keep running this flag. He says, I still got some business to do at the back of this base. Oh, he's trying to get forward, but they got to deal with Sav, and Sav's been an absolute monster at outputting damage. Although he doesn't have a lot of kills, right? Only 9. You know, we're seeing. Oh,
triple kill.
No,
Killing
Bubu Dubu. He gets the triple. He eventually gets taken down, but that's a back-breaking hit if I've ever seen one.
Whenever I'm playing matchmaking, I want to make a play. I think to myself, what would Bubu do? And he does plays like that. A triple kill the ninja. I'm going to count it on that one. That was beautifully done by Bubu Dubu. And now Svspector right over to the back base with this heat wave. It's a 3-cap lead. There is technically time on the board for Rebellion to be able to catch up. The problem is that one counter, one good round of slays will end up leading to what will be the 5th and final capture for Gamers First.
And things just get more dangerous. And even if you're G1, you're not really that concerned with this flag getting put in home. As long as you can counter out next. Svspector got 2, and he couldn't get the punch for the 3rd. A couple shaky shots at the end is going to stop G1's push. And what could have been a potent counter cap. Shopify Rebellion's dream is still alive, but they've been clearly on the back foot throughout this game, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon, Tony.
Well, 4 minutes and 15 seconds on the clock here. It's still possible for Rebellion. I'm not going to count them out just yet. As I say that, they do go 3 down, and the 4th player is trapped in the fridge like those leftovers, and now a flag being run. Multiple members of Rebellion going to try to get in position to try to stop this flag from going in. Somehow Rayne starts and might be able to finish off that return, but no. Rayne goes down. The flag gets touched. Mental, the only player extended onto the opposite side of the map. Karmea does have his back over toward the top mid, so Gamers First not having an easy capture here, but with those spawners, we see the return. We see that flag come in, and just like that, that's the 5th and final cap. Rebellion being sent down to the losers bracket.
It's a perfect game from G1, a perfect series after game 1. They played phenomenal in those past 3 games. It was never close. And we talked about how G1 is this momentum team, right, Tony? How they rely on playing well. But when they start going, man, it really does feel like Mike Tyson's punching you in the face. There's just nothing you can do. These guys are so damn good.
Well, I mean, they do say that everybody has a plan until you get punched in the face. Mike Tyson said that himself, and man, G1 just looking so good. They are who we thought they were. I had no doubt in my mind they were going to make it to Thursday. The question really became, will they make it through the elimination bracket like they did last week, or will they make it through the upper bracket? And now they're in that upper bracket. They have a good chance of making it to the winners finals, a great chance of making it to the grand finals, especially with plays like that. I mean, give me that one more time, Louis. Oh my God, give me that one more time.
Look how pretty this is, right? He baits Karmea and he says, I think you're gonna clamber about now. Jumps back down. Clear thought process from Bubu Dubu. And they're, you know, honestly, they're just lucky that there's someone shooting across. I think it was Rayne that was shooting him across the map, because if Rayne didn't shoot it back, I think Bubu Dubu's looking for a little bit more. You know, I think he has overkills on his mind. Boom. Whew, that's pretty.
It was well played by Shopify Rebellion. I'm sure that's not going to be the last time we see of them. We have other matches going on, but it was 3-1 in favor of G1.